Hi guys, I know we are a couple weeks away from week 8, but I want to make sure that you guys know this is a major point week. These assignments are worth more points than any other assignment. So in lieu of a final exam, you guys have the mini unit and the mini unit lesson plan. So the first thing for week 8 is talking about your PowerPoint, which is all about curriculum, unit development. Homework assignment 8.2 is the mini unit, and it directs us to go to the support documents for the form that you will need to complete your mini unit. So again, it is at the bottom of week 8. Here is the mini unit submission form. And this is worth 100 points. And it needs to be filled out completely. As you can see, it's quite extensive. So you won't want to wait until the last minute to begin working on this. On March 5th, I sent out an audio pointing out that weeks 5 and week 8 were major assignment weeks. Okay, then it talks about the lesson plan grading rubric, which we're going to get to in just a second. The mini unit is due on Tuesday of week 8. Homework assignment 8.2, which is your mini unit lesson plan, is due Thursday. You're going to use the MVNU lesson plan, and it also needs to be complete. And please, when you're writing your objectives, please, please, please make sure that they are measurable. When we click on, I'm sorry, that's the unit lesson. When we click on the lesson plan link, it says to use the mini unit to complete a lesson plan using the MVNU lesson plan available on Moodle. Here is your lesson plan template right here on Moodle. Everything you need is in week 8. The grading rubric for the lesson plan. Number 1, your objectives. Are they measurable? Do they include measurable objectives, information linked to the Ohio or National Content Standards or the Common Core Standards? Use the Ohio standards, as that's what's on the ODE website now. So in order to be exemplary, your objective statements are present with thorough and measurable detail. Objectives are standards-based outcomes. Planning, academic language, vocabulary or symbols. Again, exemplary. New vocabulary terms are listed along with clearly worded definitions. Strategies for ensuring student mastery of academic language are clear and include identification of language development strengths and needs. So in order to be exemplary, you've got to have quite a bit of detail. Planning. You provide explicit models, opportunities for practice, and feedback so students can effectively use the language to express, develop, and demonstrate content understanding. This is talking about the academic language that you just defined. Planning, your context for learning. The learner needs are identified with planned support specifically designed to address a variety of student learning strengths and needs. Link this to accommodations, modifications, and/or pertinent IEP goals. Under planning, evaluation, and assessment, the lesson contains lesson relevant pre-assessment, formative assessment, summative assessment, and assessment of academic language and language demands strategically designed to provide evidence of student progress and is aligned with objectives and standards for the lesson. So again, this is going to contain a pre-assessment. You're going to have formative assessment, summative assessment. You're assessing the academic language and language demands. Instruction, which includes an introduction to your lesson. Introduction is identified and is linked to lesson content or objectives. An explanation is provided with thorough detail. The introduction or hook is creative and maximizes lesson prime time. The delivery of effective instruction. Each main learning experience is identified with thorough detail and is linked to lesson objectives, assessments, and grade level indicators. A variety of teaching methods meet the learning needs of all students and are appropriately planned and implemented throughout the lesson. Details are thorough enough to be used by another teacher. So what you need to think about is if a substitute would walk into your room, could they teach that lesson, know what it's about, teach it, and be able to explain it to the children? Delivering effective instruction, materials and resources. All materials and/or resources are precisely listed or described with types, quantities, and exact information provided. So if you need 40 copies of something, it should be listed 40 copies of blah, blah, blah. Closure. Is it identified and is it linked to lesson content objectives? An explanation is provided with thorough detail. The closure provides a meaningful and creative lesson conclusion. Time approximations are identified and are consistently appropriate for accomplishment of the procedures and/or objectives. The learning environment is created to promote achievement. Accommodations and safety issues are identified to offer provisions for all students included, blah, blah. Safety issues are identified to offer provisions for all students, including safety issues. Seating and grouping is appropriate for the learning environment. Groups are managed for facilitating learning. Management issues are identified and planned for, including transitions. So your lesson plan needs to be completed in its entirety. All sections are to be filled out with enough detail to be used by another teacher in order to be exemplary. This is worth a total of 120 points. Please be looking at this now. Don't wait until the night before. I know many of you are busy with families. I understand that, but I want you all to do well. So be thinking about this week 8 as you are wrapping your class up. If you have any questions about week 8, please email me early so I can help you. Thank you.